Personal fitness trainer Michael Carson. Thanks for jumping in. Michael, you know what? I see parks everywhere, and some of them have these fitness stations. Are they just decorative, or are they really good to go?
No, they're great to go. They're one of the best things that you can find, and I've worked out with them for 20 years. It's one of the things that you can find in the body weight workout, the balance training. You actually work your core at the same time. You get it all in one great price, free.
And so this is not just like one size fits all. Can advanced and beginners work together?
Absolutely. Advanced athletes, beginners. I have people that are seniors actually coming out and doing these exercises, and it makes them feel like kids again. So there's a couple benefits there.
Well, now right here we have a balance beam.
Yeah.
I guess, is that what it would be?
Yeah.
What would we do first?
Well, if you were a beginner, what I just want you to do is to get up on the beam and to balance. Just do a one-leg balance. You can do both sides, making sure that you're balancing through your body very evenly, and you're using your stomach at the same time. And then you go right from there into a simple, or not so simple, walk across the beam, making sure that when you do this, you breathe, and you keep your head up nice and tall, you spot forward in front of your body, and you're keeping your core engaged the whole time. You see, it's really simple. You don't have to have any special equipment, and I'm working my mind and my body.
Right, what would you do for cardio?
A couple things. One thing you can do, I like to do the walk across, where you put one leg on top, and you actually lift up, marching across. One leg obviously is getting more work than the other, so you have to do both sides. So when you do the other side, it's the same exact march across. But to bring up that cardio, come down low and begin to jump over the top. And as you jump, you're propelling your body up, using all the muscles of your lower body, also starting to get that cardiovascular system kicking into gear. Your heart rate goes up, your chest is nice and tall, your posture is getting improved, and you get a great workout all at the same time on one little beam.
Trainer Michael Carson showing us how to get the most of those fit stations you see at the parks. We'll have more on that up ahead. You can see our segments on Getting Fit at Home again online at LiveWellNetwork.com. Today we're going green and taking our workout outside. I'm the personal trainer Michael Carson. Michael, we're working with something that most of us hate, the push-ups and pull-ups.
Yeah.
Are there any easy ways to get started with this?
Well, absolutely. You can modify any kind of pull-up. And the great thing is, I always want you to have a towel and water close by. So I'm going to actually have you grab this towel for me with your arms.
Okay.
You're going to lean back for me.
All right.
Good. Let your arms stretch out. I want you to draw your shoulders together and pull your elbows in. Feel that?
I feel that. I do.
So you're doing a modified pull-up right now, which can help train you for the other pull-ups I'm going to show you next. But as you're doing this, you're strengthening your arms, your back, your grip. Everything is working at the same time, and even your core. So your body's coming in one straight line, coming back up in one straight line. So
That's a great way to get going.
It's a great functional exercise.
And then, how do I advance on? How do I do that?
Now, what you can do is you get a pull-up bar that's not too high, so you can actually jump up into position, hold yourself in, and then slowly let yourself down. So you're actually doing a pull-up, but you're doing it in reverse, strengthening your the ability to do it in one full pull.
Up like that, right?
Yeah, and slowly come down. Breathe the whole time as you're doing it. Keep your stomach nice and tight.
No holding breath.
No, and you can do it with both grips too. That is an easier grip. This grip, the overhand grip, makes your body a little bit wider. You do the same thing there, but it's a little harder, a little more challenging. You want to go nice and slow, so you're eventually giving yourself the strength to do a regular pull-up.
And any other arm diversification?
Absolutely. You can change the grip so you have one going forward, one going backward. You can do grips that are overlapping in both directions. And every time you're doing that, you're changing the recruitment of the muscles in your back, and you're allowing yourself a little different form of workout. So you've got many machines in one bar.
That is great stuff. Michael, one thing I noticed after everyone gardens, their hips and lower back pretty much hurt because they're in that bent over position. Yeah. Do you have any, I know they don't think it's a workout, but should we be stretching after a workout?
Well, absolutely. It is a workout because your body is moving in all sorts of positions, and the best way to relax it is to stretch out those areas that put a lot of pressure on, the lower back specifically. So one that I like to do is just a little crouch movement where you have your heels off the ground and your feet together. I just want you to hug your arms around your legs, and you'll immediately feel your lower back.
I do feel that. Nice lower back.
Yeah, and if you drop your head a little bit, you're going to feel a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fabulous.
And you got to breathe. Just relax and breathe.
If people have a little bit of a hard time with their balance, is it okay to do a little finger prop?
Yeah, a little finger prop. You just take one arm around.
So I hug the knee.
Yeah, hug the knee, and then if you have to, then you change to the opposite hand.
Okay.
So you get a proper hug on both sides. And also your hip flexors, since you've been stretched, but not stretched out for a while because you've been in this position. Right. What you're moving to do is to come down on the ground and have you put one knee down on the ground, the other foot forward, both hands on the front knee, and just lean forward for me, and then push your shoulders back.
Now, am I off my knee or am I right on top?
I want you on your knee and weight through that front foot.
Okay.
And now in this position, I want you just to tuck your hips underneath a little bit, and you feel that stretches out the front.
Oh, that's fabulous, right in here.
Yeah, that back leg, you're getting a stretch right in the front of the hip.
I do know that sometimes people don't know about getting their foot out in front far enough. Do you have to worry about the blood pressure?
You want to make sure, in fact, what you're showing right now is the improper way exactly. You want to make sure that your knee stays right over the ankle in that farthest position. If it's close to your body and your knee's coming over your toes, You won't get the stretch and you won't put too much pressure on the knee itself.
So it's the big tuck back here.
The big tush tuck.
And when we come back, Michael will show us the proper way to end our great outdoor workout. So Michael, we just finished a great workout. And is there a rule of thumb on whether you should stretch in between, at the end? What do we do?
Well, if you're doing a cardio workout, you want to make sure you do all the stretching at the end of the cardio routine. But if you're just doing muscle stations, you want to make sure that you stretch out that muscle group that you just worked. This will be in the back. I want you to do a nice stretch holding onto the pole and just letting your back lengthen out. And relax as you're doing this, and make sure whenever you're stretching that you're breathing. Very relaxed, holding the stretch for at least 10 to 15 seconds. Then you can move on to the next machine.
Now, is that a bent knee, straight leg? How do we do it?
You can do a bent knee if you feel like you can't hold on strong enough, but if you can straighten out those legs all the way, you can get even more deeper stretch all the way in the lower part of the back. Feel the difference. If you bend the legs,
yeah,
and then straighten them out,
oh yeah,
see how that increases the lower back stretch as well.
Good stuff.
And you can open up the hands and change the hands. And we get an even stretch on both sides.
Love it.
Excellent.
Oh, good, thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
After high school, after college, I got a little soft and I wanted to get it back. Like most women, I do not like the muffin tops on my thighs.
Muffin top, love handles, tank top squish. Many women share similar terminology when speaking about soft, fatty areas of their body where weight won't budge, even with considerable effort. Familiar with the female challenge, fitness pro Michael Carson came up with a program that combines cardio and strength together called Get Sexy, featuring non-stop low-level cardio with interval spurts of higher intensity cardio moves. He incorporates a small weighted ball or a 2-pound weight.
I like to sustain your heart rate at above about 115, 120 level throughout the whole workout with bursts of activity that bring it up to 150, 155, 160. So you're always keeping at a level that you're burning fat.
It's not spot reducing, but rather 7 main moves to zone in on the hips, thighs, abdominals, and upper body, all while working the core or midline area.
If you really push from your hips, if you really work from your core and drive rotation through your body, you're using everything that trims you down and slims you down.
Of course, diet's half the equation. Lean protein, lots of produce, and minimal intake of starch and sugar is a smart start.
When you start a program, if you want to see some real changes, you have to deny yourself these things initially.
Lean and mean Ironman, Jacob's Ladder, and something called the Vortex created a calorie-thrashing routine.
There's literally no angle we can't have on the machine. We can hook you up by your legs, by your arms. You could do pull-ups. You can hang upside down.
In 6 months, Bose had Downey doing this, and this, and this, creating strength without sides. Effects might not even be noticeable at the time, but can cause a negative effect on the body.
You're both tearing muscle and you're causing the connective tissues where your muscle attaches to your bone to fray slightly.
Whether you're stretching to wake up in the morning or right before an activity, stretching cold is a bad idea.
I like to think of it like a rubber band that you put in the refrigerator or the freezer. You take that rubber band out and try and stretch it. It's not going to have a lot of elasticity. Injury is what the result is. It's not what you want.
Then there's those who stop and stretch right after their warm-up, thinking they're going to lengthen their muscle and increase their performance. Wrong again.
First of all, it's going to bring your heart rate down. It's going to make your body start to cool down. So you want to continue that heated process.
What you do want to do is a dynamic warm-up, movement that uses many joints and muscles. Carson likes this one he calls the pizza man, using opposite arm and leg. The leg on the ground pushing down into the floor while the opposite arm pushes up to open the core. He also recommends warming the core with rotational movement like this that allow our whole body to twist, not just the upper half.
You want to go with nice dynamic style movements that simulate activities that would be athletic, like golf, like tennis, like basketball.
If you aren't planning to work out but want to stretch, try walking first or these dynamic movements for about 10 to 15 minutes so that your joints and muscles have the oxygen and blood flow they need to create warmth and circulation. Then it's okay to stretch.
It's supposed to be relaxing and elongating and opening.
Carson says a good stretch holds at least 15 seconds, even better if held for at least 1 minute, complete with deep and relaxing breathing.